Susie.
Hi. Hi, Sarah.
Are you ready to talk about the challenge?
We're back.
You
This is
look
going
ready.
to be the craziest episode about the challenge ever.
Oh my gosh, yes.
That's what TJ
Susie's
does
excited.
every season. I was just trying to do what he does about every season. This is the hardest final we've ever done. And then you
You can't
run.
see us right now, but we're rubbing our hands together like TJ.
Right. Remember my TJ impression at the Inferno 3 party? I know you
wasn't
weren't there,
at
but
the Inferno 3
yeah,
party.
but you've seen the pictures, right?
No.
Of me basically in drag.
Dressed as TJ. Oh, yes, I have. Yes, I have. I
Yeah.
have. Thank you.
Thank
Oh,
you.
I would have loved to see the persona that came with that outfit.
Yeah, because I can do. He has mannerisms, and you can really do a TJ impression.
Yep, sure can.
How did you think our part 1 of the challenge went? Did you like it? Did you feel like we did enough? What did you think?
I think so, and people seemed to love it. People were really excited when we answered their question.
Yeah. So I pulled up the list, and I just thought, let's just pick up where we left off.
Yeah.
All right.
I love
all
it.
right. Okay. Oh, first we should cover, did you call Buna Marie back?
No.
You just ghosted them?
Well, okay. Did I call? I sent them a text message.
You
back.
replied to the texts.
I replied to the text.
What did you say?
Okay, let me look so I
Yeah,
can
pull that
it up
up.
so I can give you the exact thing that I said so that you
Yes.
have all of the right information. Gosh, it was a long time ago now. Okay. I said, thanks for, she was like, would you be, not sure if you got my message, but, you know what it's about, and would you be interested in participating? And I was like, thanks for thinking of me, but my challenge days are behind me. And they were like, oh, I understand, but, we still miss you. And I said, oh, thanks, I miss the crew, but not the drama. And they were like,
yeah.
oh, I know, I don't travel anymore, but I'm happy for you and, hope the podcast is going great. And I was like, if they think that the travel is the drama I'm
Yes.
referring to, they are incorrect.
Right. That is such an odd thing. There's no way that person thought that the travel was the stressful part.
No, I don't think so. I think they were just,
Filling dead air.
yeah, maybe.
All right. Well, that seals your fate. You're not going to be
Yeah.
on, what is it, number 34, is it? I don't
Oh
know.
my God, that's insane. Ours was 18, Suze.
Gross.
Can you believe that?
No, I didn't even know that, actually.
I think it was, yeah, because I remember driving to our final and seeing that sign. I'll always remember it that said, like, CH18 with an arrow, and I was like nervous, like, where the hell are they taking us in the middle of the jungle?
Our first question is from Rain, who
I love
asks,
that name.
would you do a best friend season together if MTV asked? I would.
Yeah, me too. That is the only situation where I would do it, is if I got to be your partner, you were there, and that's it.
Yeah, because, I'll tell you what, that would be a laugh a minute.
Oh my God. It would be so funny, because now looking at the physicality of everybody there,
Yeah.
we wouldn't last a minute. And I haven't worked out in so long. It's like a joke. I'm going to this event. I'm doing this speaking event in Hawaii at a military base. And one of the guys who's going with me is a American Ninja Warrior. And they've set up like an obstacle course and everything. And they're like, oh, you'll get to do it too, Sarah. And I was like, holy shit, I got to start working out right now, because I am going to make a fool of myself. They're going to be like, she won challenges? This girl can't even get over the net.
That's why I set the bar low,
Yeah.
I don't have
What
to
am I
live up to
thinking?
that.
I'm not
Is-
going to say yes to that.
Is the person you're going with Flip? The guy Flip?
Yes. Yes, you know
nice.
him.
Oh, cool. I didn't know
Yeah.
you were going with him. He's
I
great.
am. He's the best, right?
The question from Kate Garcia. Did Johnny really throw a bucket of piss? Oh, we have talked about that. A bucket of
Yes.
piss on Sarah's face. That's
Yes.
not exactly what happened.
It was, so there to tell this story in all of its detail. So, there were a lot of pranks going on. You get bored in those houses.
That was on
And
the ruins, right?
Yes, it was on the ruins, and we had a leaky air conditioner in the room. And so somebody put a bucket underneath this air conditioner that was right by the door, and the bucket was, halfway filled with water. So And then, you know, the guys, I don't know how many, or maybe if it was just one person, but somebody peed in the bucket because it's like, too lazy to walk the 20 feet to the restroom. And then as we were like running around the house in the middle of this prank war, Johnny picked up the bucket and I came around the corner and he threw the bucket in my face. So was there pee in it? Absolutely yes. Was it like a bucket of pee that he had like saved to throw in my face?
It wasn't malicious.
It wasn't. It was just like, oh, here's a bucket, and you know, and there just happened to be pee in it. But yeah, it still sucked. But you know, I was like on the happy to be here train, and like, you know, I was like the weirdo who never got to be involved in pranks. So I was like, yeah, sure, I'll be the victim. I'm just happy to be involved.
I was thinking though about these kind of rumors about Johnny on that Game of Clones show.
Yeah.
And that there may have been an incident involving him that was inappropriate. And I was talking to my sister about it, and she was like, do you really think that happened? And I said, I think Sarah's right, that whatever may have happened was something that would go on in the challenge house all the time, and he's just used to it and thinks it's okay, and it's for sure not.
Yeah. Because remember how somebody stood up to him on the last one, some female. Mm-hmm. I want to say it was Devon, maybe.
Okay.
And something happened where she was like, maybe this was okay before, but I'm not taking this. Who was it? I can't remember who it was.
That rings a bell. I think it may have been Devon.
Yeah, somebody said something.
But he is used to behaving in a way that in the regular world can get you in big trouble.
Right.
But on the challenge is rewarded. So I can definitely see something happening in that respect.
Ooh, I want to know so bad.
I know. Somebody write us and tell us what really happened
Please.
on that show.
Where's Pink Rose when you need him?
Yeah, right. Good point. Yeah. Okay. Stacy asks, I have always wondered if people of faith were given time to be allowed to practice their faith. I've also always wondered if the intersection of faith and the competition have ever coincided in deeper conversations inside the game.
What a great question.
What's your answer?
No. I think the only time that I've experienced that, it was with Nehemiah when we were in Costa Rica, I think it was, on Rivals 1. And we were, you know, having like meditation and like Kabbalah sessions, you know, in the mornings and doing that. But that was it. And he was like, the sad thing is that they kind of made him look silly for it.
Yeah, it wasn't treated with reverence.
Right.
Yeah.
And Susie got them to allow us to keep books that were religious texts.
I mean, to be fair, the Supreme Court did, not
Susie.
The Constitution.
So that's great.
Yeah, but they tried to take away my Bible. I had brought some books. They took all my books away, including the Bible. And I was like, yeah, that's illegal, so I'm going to be taking that back. It wasn't even like I wanted to practice. I wasn't even, I was using it for school, but just the fact that they think they can take people's sacred texts is gross. But I haven't met a lot of people on the shows that are anything other than, quote, spiritual.
Right, same.
I don't know of any off the top of my head that were religious. Do you know of anyone that's religious?
The only person that comes to mind is Chet.
Oh, good. Yes, good example. But he wasn't asking to go to religious services or anything.
No. Oh, my gosh. Also a really good point. That is so interesting.
What about on Real World? Did he go to church?
I don't think so. Maybe a few times?
I'm shocked by that.
Why don't I know the answer to that? It seems like I should, or it wasn't. I
love when you're speechless. It's terrible for podcasting, but it does tickle me.
Right, but I'm like trying to go through my memory and think about. I don't think I remember him making a big point about it, or maybe he did, and I just didn't notice because he didn't talk a lot about it. But I don't know.
One thing I'm religious about is safety. And
yes, and you know what? You should be after living on the challenge for so long.
Right.
Been in danger for many years. Let's get safe.
Good point. And if you want to stay safer and see who the heck is at your door, get a Ring system. I have this at my house, at our front door, and all around the house we have cameras, and it's really handy because if you're not home, you can see who's ringing the door. You can talk to them and say, oh, just leave the package, which has been helpful to us when we've been away. And you can stay connected to your home anywhere in the world. We've seen so many news stories where people have been able to see crazy stuff that's happening thanks to these systems. And it's all connected to your phone. So you get alerts. You're aware of if something's going on or if somebody's at your door.
If somebody's licking your doorbell.
Yeah, like that guy, that crazy dude. And it's thanks to the HD video and two-way audio features on the Ring devices. And I have found it to be really helpful, like I said, when I'm traveling especially. Because you'll think you've put your mail on hold, you didn't order anything, but then inevitably something will show up. And as a listener, you have a special offer on a Ring starter kit available right now with a video doorbell and motion-activated floodlight cam. The starter kit has everything you need to start building a ring of security around your home. Just go to ring.com/braincandy. That's ring.com/braincandy. Yeah, Chet is such a great example, though, of somebody who's faithful, but it just didn't come up. He didn't talk about it in terms of I need to go to church or whatever. So that's a good question from Stacy. Amanda asks, if a cast member is flown out to location as an alternate, are they paid the same rate as a cast member who is an actual initial part of the roster? No.
Yeah. Have you ever been offered to fly out as one of those guest,
No, they didn't do that
mercenaries
back then.
Or whatever?
Oh, no. They did not. Though, it's funny. I had a meeting 2 days ago at Buena-Murray. And, I was pitching a show that I'm doing. And I thought it was so weird because sometimes I worry that they don't like me because, we talk about the show a lot and it's not always in the positive way. And they don't care.
Yeah, they don't.
They really don't. They were all so nice, so happy to see me. I saw Scott Freeman, who has worked at the company since before I was there, and he was just so delightful. And I was pleasantly surprised by that.
Oh, next time you see him, tell him I say hello.
Yeah, I will. Do you have you had a lot of interactions with him?
Yeah, whole bunch.
Yeah, so basically there's John Murray, and then Scott Freeman's the next in command, and he's super nice.
And I think he donated when I did the NAMI, mental health walk.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, that's awfully nice.
So, yeah, shout out to Scott for donating.
Yeah, all right. Okay, let's see. To answer Amanda's question, they don't pay the same rate, but if they're paid something, and then if they're brought in, they have a normal pay structure.
Yeah, I want to say they offered me somewhere between $3,000 and $5,000.
Oh, to do the mercenary thing?
Out there.
And that was that wasn't an alternate. That was go for one day and come home. Because they weren't doing the thing where the mercenary, if you won, you stayed. It was just a one day thing.
Yeah.
I'm surprised you didn't do that. That's a nice chunk of change.
I think it just was
bad timing
with school and everything. Yeah, bad timing.
Okay, Doug.
Because I just really want one of those black uniforms. Let's be real.
They're really cute.
I mean, I feel like I've gotten screwed on colors. Every single year I'm freaking gray. And I am a sweaty lady. And gray,
Sweaty.
I mean, it's and then I get nervous sweat. So, I am just sweaty in every uniform. I'm like, can they give me something other than gray? I think I got red last time, but that was a little better.
Yeah, you're
I was gray
that's
for
not
so long.
flattering.
No, never.
Okay.
And then the one time I got a color I liked, I was yellow. I was only there for two challenges. And I'm like, I can't even... The one time, this color really makes me look tan.
Of all the things to be upset about, though.
I know, so dumb.
Okay. Emily wants to know, do you think there will be a Battle of the Shows theme for a future season? Not looking good.
Yeah, no, I feel like they've mixed it up too much. And now it's not even shows because, you know what? I take that back. You know how they did Battle of the Seasons and it was 4 people from each season?
Yeah.
They could do something like that. 4 from Big Brother, 4 from...
Oh, that'd be cool.
Gordy Shore, whatever the heck it is. Or
Georgie Shore or whatever.
Georgie.
Is it Georgie? I don't know. Gordy? I don't know.
I have no idea.
Hell it is.
Ask your husband.
I will.
Or, is that English, British, or Australian?
Oh, it's British.
Okay.
Emily wants to know, how are the challenges designed? She means the games. Do these guys have the same degrees as roller coaster designers?
Oh my gosh, not even close. No, there are no engineers working, behind this. Do you know people who, because you're closer to some of the crew who may design some of these suits, what have you heard about these?
Yeah, I am so amazed at the clever things they've come up with over the years. Sometimes I'm like, okay, that's stupid. But I think mostly they're really clever. Ryan is my favorite segment producer. He probably doesn't do that annemore, but I think he is so creative coming up with this.
I remember he was the one who came up with the idea to do I think it was our second challenge, or maybe it was our first, on the ruins, where we had to climb up a rope and climb up each other to get onto this big platform. And he shared with us where he got the idea. Do you remember where it was?
No, I don't.
From the movie Madagascar.
No.
The cartoon. He said in the cartoon Madagascar, the monkeys had used each other to make a rope, and then they all climbed up each other. And he's like, hey, that could work on the challenge.
You're funny because only you would remember that because you love cartoons.
It totally stuck in my head, and I'm like, oh, that's adorable.
Who would have thought Disney was influencing the challenge?
Yeah, that people are getting these ideas from wherever. And then also, so to add to that answer, they have, the segment producers, and they come up with all this stuff. And they have, I guess, some warehouse where they, set these all up in the United States, in California, and they demo them to see if they'll work. And then they either bring all the materials or create that same setup down wherever we do the challenges. And then they'll hire a stunt team. And the stunt team, the stunt coordinators, they're the real ones who make the magic happen because they do all of the rigging. They set everything up. The guys that they used, I think they're still using the same team, but they were the stunt team who did, what the heck is that movie called, Suze? Mad Max.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it is Mad Max,
it
right?
It is.
Yeah, so they did that, and they have, so they're really insanely talented stunt guys. And I never feel safer than when, I don't feel safe when we're doing those over-the-water ones and, where, you can tell it's just, our team that's rigged it up. But when we're doing the big, huge ones where we're, on a truck and it's moving and, we're, on these pulley systems or when I did the one in where the heck were we? Wherever we were when Argentina, I don't know where I can't even remember. But when we were doing the ropes down the 50-story building at night when it was raining and everything, I wasn't worried for a second because these guys are safety experts.
Yeah,
no fear.
They are really, they have a big job and
huge.
Anytime they're there, I feel safe. It's when they're not there. It's when it seems so simple, but it's like death trap.
That is what I'm saying, Suze. It's so those ones that, or even the man in the sand, the ones where you don't even, the one you did with Kim.
Yeah.
Those are the ones where people get hurt and everybody has broken fingers or broken whatever, or, that guy who broke his hand on the first episode of the new one. It's there was nothing big and they were just running up a hill.
Yeah, it's just human error.
And it's that shit, But if you got me strapped to a 50-story building in a harness, no problem.
Well, I remember on the Inferno 3, Ryan had created this one that Coley lost it to, I believe, Jen. And it was it kind of looked like a giant hamster wheel, but they had to climb around the outside of it, and it was a race and whatever. And he said that it was simply, he was sitting in traffic, I think, and he looked over at a tire next to him and saw the spokes and just all of a sudden got the inspiration for this really cool thing. It didn't end up working very well because Coley was so bad at it that it was over in about 30 seconds. But his vision for it was really cool. One thing I will say...
He is creative.
He's so creative. And to get inspiration from like, oh, there's a tire. Hey, I could make that into a game. I remember on, I think it was Gauntlet 2, but I don't know. But we had to do this thing where you like walked across a beam over water and there was little wooden pegs on the beam and you're blindfolded and you had to reach up and pull this thing down off of like a clothesline. And first of all, that is not safe. No. Second of all,
let's hope your shoelaces are tied too.
Well, but it sort of doesn't make sense because the only reason I was able to do it, I don't know about everyone else, is because you could see out of the blindfold. Oh. Have you ever been blindfolded on the show and you can totally see out the bottom?
Yeah. Like my feet.
Yes, but if you're on a balance beam, that's all you need to see.
I've never been in one of those situations where it's been that helpful.
Yeah, and it was sort of like, I think they almost knew, but it just had to look like we couldn't see.
Right.
More than we actually
I want to be on the challenge during those days. I'm on the challenge when I got tear gassed, and it not only looked like it, but felt like it.
Yours are so much worse.
I mean, freaking tear gassed. For real.
Wow, that is not right.
That sucked. Whose idea was that? Somebody watched Schindler's List.
I want to know whose idea it was to create personalized and customized dog food that makes your dog go nuts.
Suze, this was a blessing and a curse for me to discover.
Ollie is the food that she's talking about. Tell me why.
Because now those little guys will not eat anything else.
They love it.
They love it. They're happier. They're healthier. I'm just really happy that I was able to find a food that I can customize to the couch potato dog that I have.
Yeah, because every dog's different. It makes sense.
Yes. He's got gluten problems. He can't have anything with it more than 5 ingredients. And we open up, they see this orange lid and they go bananas, spin in little circles. This morning, I took video of it because I'm like, nobody's going to believe this if they don't see it. And then one day, I was too lazy to go get it out of the refrigerator, and I just used their dry food. Sigmund looked at his bowl, looked at me, then looked at his bowl, and then walked away. And that bowl stayed full all day long.
No, he was like, how dare you?
He protested. He didn't eat it. Landon and I laughed about it all night when I got home.
Your dog was on a hunger strike.
Hand to God, true story.
Ollie beat out store-bought dog food 10-1 on the palatability scale. And they make customized vet-formulated recipes with all natural ingredients, no preservatives, and sourced from U.S. family farms. And you just go on myollie.com and you answer a few questions about your dog, like Sarah said, like if it's a couch potato or if it's super active. And then they send you the perfect pre-portioned meals to serve to your doggies. And they've delivered 5 million meals and counting. Shipping is free. Wow. Ollie is offering our listeners 60% off your first box plus a free bag of treats at myollie.com/try/brain candy. That's the best deal they have available anywhere. Just go to myollie.com/try/brain candy for 60% off plus a free bag of treats. And I think Sarah's dogs would tell you it's a good decision.
I'm going to have to reorder.
Okay. Let's see here. Kelly asked, do contestants ever fake hate each other so they'll get paired up later in rival seasons? Of course.
Yeah.
I mean, wouldn't you?
Who do you think we've seen this with?
Brad and Tony.
Oh, my gosh. Yep. I even think, wasn't Frank and Johnny, when they were paired up, they had never met in real life.
Yeah.
It was all online.
Well, I don't know if Brad and Tony had met, but their feud was online, too.
Yeah.
That was clearly
totally
strategic, and I don't blame them, but it is kind of odd.
And I think it's what Cara Maria did to Emily on Rivals 2. Yeah, they got into it. And I was like, this is bullshit. And also, I'm Team Emily. Emily.
Well, maybe, though, that's why people are so mean to Cara, is to hopefully be paired with her. because she's so strong and athletic. But she gets a lot of people mad at her a lot. So I'm wondering maybe that's why. I don't know.
Good point.
It's just theories. Nobody's admitting that they do this.
It is weird, you know. I maybe that's why people are hooking up too.
For sure.
Yeah.
But we've also talked about how that arousal transference happens.
Transfer of arousal, for sure.
Yeah, where like if you have a really intense experience, if you're in like a car crash with somebody, you're more inclined to be attracted to them because your body mistakes that adrenaline and arousal for actual attraction, which, you know, maybe it's not a mistake, but it's sort of your wires get crossed.
I mean, I said it day one when we did, it must have been, it was like our very first challenge of the, I guess it was X's. Yeah, it was X's. And as soon as these people, you know, these couples finished the very first challenge and they did well, they like wrapped their arms around each other and were like, oh my God, I love you so much. And I was like, oh, there it is. Transfer of arousal right there. They're definitely going to be smooching tonight.
Yeah.
People can't even help themselves.
Yeah. Alexis wants to know, Sarah, how was DM on Rivals 3? It felt like she got a horrible edit, Rivals 2, a horrible edit, and she said at the reunion that she was still taking hormones and such. Does that ring a bell to you?
Oh, man. Rivals 2.
You weren't there that long, though.
Yeah, I wasn't. I don't even really remember that. She was on there. No,
what was bad about her edit, though?
That was the one where I was with Trishelle.
Okay.
Was she there? I don't think DM was there on Rivals 2.
Well, then we can't say.
Maybe X's 2.
Oh, okay.
It's got to be X's 2. Because X's 2, she was paired up with CT.
Ah, right. Okay.
And I was with Vinny, and I didn't last that long on that one.
Did she seem okay to you at that time? She's a tough nut to crack.
She is. She seemed okay. It was hard. I think she seemed like, you know, there was, you know, still some feelings there on both sides. But I can't really say, or I don't really remember that much.
I'm looking at this next one that says, where the hell is Evelyn Smith? But I thought we already knew she's a lawyer.
Is she she's like practicing law now? I know she went to law school.
That's what they say, is that she's a lawyer now. Yeah. So good for her.
Good job, Evelyn. Yeah.
Okay, so Madison says, sometimes I feel like they do a voiceover when TJ is explaining the event. Am I right? Also, does TJ talk a bunch of shit that gets cut out, or does he hang out at all with people? Blah, blah, blah.
He does what they call pickup lines. Yeah. So a lot of times they you know, will recognize that the directions are confusing, or, you know, they'll have to reword them. So he'll give us the explanation, and like just for the cameras, and then they'll have the segment producer come in and like explain all the rules to us in a very detailed way, and like answer any of our questions. And while we're doing that, they take TJ to the side and they have him do like basically like what she said, voiceovers of these lines. And, you know, they do lay them over when he's explaining the rules. And we used to call him 10-take TJ because it would take him so long to do those things.
It is funny to me that after all these years, they haven't found a better way to make it less obvious when they do those pickup lines. Because, like she said, it's very clear when it sounds totally different.
Like his voice changes and...
Alexis also...
But as far as hanging out and all that stuff, I remember on the first challenge when we went to as Thai boxing match, I didn't know the rules of like who we were supposed to hang out with and not supposed to hang out with, and I was just like excited that TJ Lavin was there. I liked him from, you know, the BMX days. And at the boxing match or whatever the heck you call it, I went over there and like sat next to him, and I was like, oh, so who you got your money on? And like people looked at me like, oh my God, what is she doing? And they like stopped me from talking to him and was like, you're not allowed to do that. I'm like, I'm not allowed to what? Talk to him? Who? Okay.
Sarah really thought they were friends. That's so cute.
Yeah, I was like, okay, well, I guess we're not cool, so whatevs. And, but TJ's always been real nice to me. And he did say that he would choose me as a female, the female that he would want to compete with. He chose Johnny as the male, but me as the female because I have a positive attitude and I'm always down to do whatevs.
I forget, there was an article that just came out recently. I think it was E! News, maybe it was People, whatever, where Johnny was talking about his career on the challenge. And I can't remember if he said he's done 18 for some reason. That rings a bell, but it has to be more than that because you've done, maybe it is 18.
10.
Yeah. But do you think he has a very good memory? I've always been amazed that he can refer to the show and what happened on it. You'd think after 18, all these
because that's all you're doing.
He's amazing at remembering.
But that's all you do. It's the same way taxi drivers in New York know every single street because they're
that's their life.
That's their life. Or a chess master has every single board and every single play. If this is all you do, I can't keep all that information in there because I'm busy also trying to get a master's degree and remember what I'm supposed to take on this test. I need to compartmentalize when your entire brain is challenge stuff, then you better remember all these things.
I love when I try to give him a little compliment, you're like, yeah, because he's a loser.
Nope. Yeah. Well, good job. He definitely knows his field.
Yeah. In the interview, he said, when he first was on The Real World, he had asked somebody afterwards, do you think I'll go on the challenge? And they were like, I don't know, we'll see. And he's like, now I'm basically the face of the franchise. And my instinct was to roll my eyes and be annoyed, but he's 100% right.
Yeah, he is right. He's totally right.
But he'll probably, be doing this. He said that he'll be doing it pretty much forever, and he won't be getting married. But if you are getting married, you should use Zola for your registry because they make it so easy to plan your wedding. And here, it's more than just a registry, really. It's a one-stop shop for wedding planning. They have free wedding websites that you can use to create those destinations where your guests can see all the information about your big day. You can do save the dates and invitations. And then they do have the registry where you can choose from all different companies, all these different products. You're not limited to just one place. And they can do group gifts where all of these people from your wedding who may not even know each other can pool their money to give you something really special, or subscription services. And you can make those wedding websites where they have a theme and you tell the story of how you met your partner. It's just nice for guests to have a place where they can find out all the information they need. So it's super convenient for you and everyone that's coming to your wedding. So start your free wedding website or registry on Zola. Go to Zola.com. That's ZOLA.com/braincandy. Again, that is Zola, ZOLA.com/braincandy to get started on that free wedding website and registry.
You think there'd be some challengers or something like that getting married? I feel like everybody's kind of getting to those ages.
I was just thinking about how the Bachelor franchise, I am kind of critical of it in certain ways, a lot of ways, but some of the people that are on the show have gotten married and have kids, and they're always speaking up hey, this is how I found forever love, and we have kids, and it's amazing. And I was just thinking about how, let's say you work at Dunder Mifflin. Yeah. They have this...
The People's Persons Paper people?
Yes. Dunder Mifflin has a higher success rate of couples than The Bachelor, which is also basically a workplace.
Okay, that's funny.
The Bachelor is designed, the whole point of it is for people to pair off with someone.
Oh
so
God,
I feel like those exceptions of hey, we got married and we had a kid, they're not higher a rate than Dunder Mifflin or wherever you work,
Right.
So that's my argument.
That's so true.
Because it's...
With the exception of where I work, because that's really frowned upon.
Is it?
Well, you can't have relationships with your clients.
Oh, I thought you meant your coworkers. Okay.
Oh, well, that maybe. And being in a female-dominated industry, it's slim pickings.
Yeah. Okay. Alexis also asked another question, which I liked.
And by frowned upon, I mean absolutely
Forbidden.
unethical, and I would never, and forbidden, and I'd lose my license.
Just to be clear.
Not to,
and you're
just
also
so we're
married
all
already.
clear. Yeah, and I'm married. Okay, and that.
Have they ever changed the rules of a challenge in the middle because they realized it was too difficult or for whatever reason? Yeah.
Yeah, what is your story for that?
I cannot think of a time they changed the rules. I think there were times when they wished they could or would have designed it in a different way. I remember on the Gauntlet 2, the final was this stupid setup, and we had to like bet gold doubloons or something, and the way that they designed it was really dumb because we didn't end up even having to do all the different legs of the thing because of the way the betting worked.
Yeah.
But I remember also the first thing they did was, or one of the first things was like a food thing, a food eating thing. And it was so close, and they had to review the video footage, and there was this big scandal of like, we knew that the other team didn't win, but in order for them to get the outcome they wanted, which was for us to have to complete all of the legs, they would have had to say that the other team won. So I think they wanted to have an outcome that they really couldn't create, and I think they hate that.
They definitely do. On the final of X's 2, when I was with Jordan, the one we won, there was a like word scramble. So it was all these rocks that had letters on them, and we had to unscramble the letters to form a phrase. And that was all the instruction we had.
Okay.
And Jordan and I unscrambled those letters, and we made a phrase.
Okay.
But it wasn't the phrase they were looking for.
You're kidding.
So they were like, okay, let me give you a hint. And they gave us a hint as to the theme. Because I did it. I was like, there you go, done. You want it to be a phrase? I rearranged all the letters. You gave me all the letters, and I made them make a word, or made them make a sentence. And they were like, yes, that is correct, but that's not what we were looking for. So once they gave us the hint, then I was like, oh, easy, got it. It was like about trolls.
That's kind
of, something
weird, though.
But it was like, I don't think that they thought about the possibility of there being more than one combination of these letters.
It's surprising, though, that they weren't like, okay, you win. They made you come up with it.
They needed the shot of it saying, so that there's consistency. So because every team had the same letters.
So what do you think would have happened if another team had finished in the meantime and had the correct phrase?
Oh, they would have moved on. Oh, we were so far ahead at that point. And like the other teams, I think when we were just about finished, they were arriving at the letters. And I don't think they maxed out their time. The other teams maxed out the time and weren't ever able to unscramble them.
Well, it kind of worked out, but to me that's like, uh-oh,
yeah.
What if it
That
had
was
gone
one
a
where they were
different
like, uh-oh. Yeah, exactly.
All right.
Yeah. But then I was like, oh, they absolutely gave me that one because the girl who does crossword puzzles every single morning, they give a word scramble to. Come on. Mm-hmm. This is breakfast for me.
Let's see.
Thanks for the advantage.
Yeah, that worked out, but questionable.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. What's your favorite challenge you've ever done?
You mean the whole season?
No, like challenge, like actual
that was the one
thing.
on the Inferno 3 in South Africa where we were way, like 1,000 feet off the ground.
Was it you and Kenny that were together?
It was me and Alton.
Oh, you and Alton. Oh.
And we had to like get across this beam again. But it was so beautiful, and it just was and we won, and so it felt, when you win, that always adds a special thing to it.
Yes, it does.
And it was just...
And wasn't that one where a lot of people didn't?
Yeah, no one else completed it.
Yes. Kenny was there, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I remember him being terrified. You had to wrap yourself up in the rope.
Yeah.
Oh, Suze,
we had to spin.
You were so good at that. I totally remember that.
Yeah, that was special, and I felt like it was one of those feelings of like you accomplish something and you're in this magnificent setting and it's just gorgeous and you feel really special.
Oh,
what about
great,
you,
Suze? For the same kind of reasons, the one that Johnny and I did, the Up All Night challenge, where we just smoked everybody. It was like so fun.
Yeah, the
memorizing
one.
Things. Yeah, the memory thing, because I got it so fast what was going on, and then I was just like giddy. That time, believe it or not, flew by because I was so excited for the chance for me to show off how much of this I remembered.
That was such a fun episode to watch too.
Oh, yeah.
I like those
I probably still remember all the answers to those questions.
Really?
Yep.
Whoa.
Alberto was the name of the lizard.
Oh my God.
Yep.
I cannot believe that.
I remember everything. They played the song 6 times.
And then after you were done and you had won, did you go back and sleep, or how does that go?
Oh, no, because I had serious back problems. I had to get a cortisol shot in my back.
Oh, my God. Because you had to stand all
And
night. You didn't
like,
just stay up.
Yep. They were like, it's funny. I was actually talking to, one of the guys at my clinic who works there. He was in the military, and he was just, kind of like bent over, and he's like, oh, I got to stretch my back out. And I'm like, yeah, I'm sure. Like, after all you've done, your body hurts. And he's like, how about after all you've done? Does your body hurt?
Yeah.
He's like, you've been like slingshotted out of things and, pushed out of helicopters. And I was like, yeah, honestly, the one that hurt my body the worst was standing in one place for 16 hours.
That's another example of like the thing that's actually bad for you isn't always the thing that looks like it would be bad for you or risky or whatever.
And then when I went to the medic guys and they were giving me the shot, like they were like, the question they asked was, have you been like immobile for a long time? And I'm like, you idiots just what? Yes, you know the answer to that. They must have been like, just got on shift, because I'm like, yeah, by design, like they set it up like that. Have I been immobile? Not by choice.
I love that they act like they don't know.
Right. That's what I was like rolling my eyes. I'm like, are we for real here? Like, do I need to explain myself?
I love
crew, medic people. Fools. But anyways. And they didn't even give me like good drugs. It was just like.
Yeah, right. Where's the Vicodin when you need it?
Yeah, where's like the muscle relaxer that's going to like make me like forget about all the other crazies in the house?
Another thing that's crazy is to not learn about investing. Robin has...
I think a lot of people from the challenge could use this, and then maybe they wouldn't have to go back.
Yeah, we should tell Ashley about it.
Oh my God, that's great. Start sending these links to all the people who win.
Robinhood is an investing app that lets you buy and sell stocks, ETFs, options, and cryptos, all commission free, while other brokerages charge up to $10 for every trade. Robinhood doesn't charge any commission fees, so you can trade stocks and keep all of your profits. Plus, there is no account minimum deposit needed to get started, so you can start investing at any level. The simple, intuitive design of Robinhood makes investing easy for newcomers and experts alike. View easy to understand charts and market data and place a trade in just 4 taps on your smartphone. You can also view stock collections such as 100 most popular. With Robinhood, you can learn how to invest in the market as you build your portfolio, discover new stocks, track your favorite companies, and get custom notifications for price movements so you can never miss the right moment to invest. Robinhood is giving listeners of the Brain Candy podcast a free stock like Apple, Ford, or Sprint to help you build your portfolio. Sign up at braincandy.robinhood.com. Got all that?
Sweet. Yep. .robinhood.com.
Oh, this is interesting. Emily wants to know, during long elimination rounds, the caption will sometimes say like 2 hours later to show the struggle. Is that accurate, or do they kind of make it up? I think
totally
it's
accurate.
Yeah.
And, it is brutal to be on the sidelines during that.
Right. Because you can't do anything.
And they don't let you sit down.
Right.
Because they don't know what's going to happen in the middle of that game right there.
Yeah.
Like maybe this is going to be the moment that they win. And we're like so exhausted, and you have to stand up. And the set is, oh my God, everything's annoying. The set is always like a set. So things are not designed for, holding your body weight and to lean against and, maximum comfort. So they'll have, like a rail, and then they'll say, but don't lean on the rail.
Right.
don't touch the rail. Don't touch anything, and it might fall over. And then there was one time where part of the set did collapse.
Really?
Oh my God, there were a few times that happened. Do you remember on the ruins when the thing fell down onto Kim and she had to go to the hospital?
No, I don't.
We were doing the fruit basket one, the one where we were doing a relay where there was a bunch of fruit and there was somebody who was in the bin at the end. Like there was a big like tub or basket of where we were depositing this fruit or something like that, and it had to be like thrown over a wall. There was a whole bunch of stuff, and there was this. They made, I don't know what it was made out of, whether it was like plywood or maybe some foam too. So it wasn't like super heavy that fell on her, but it was like it was supposed to be like an ancient ruins kind of thing.
Yeah.
And it collapsed and it fell on her back
oh,
and like
gosh,
scratched her whole back
up. It just came
up.
back to me.
Yeah.
Right.
That was one that was like, holy crap. And I think we did hold everything and take a break as they put the frickin' set back together.
Yeah.
So, I know, that's like aside, but a good story nonetheless.
I was thinking recently about how, they've kind of gone to a lot of trouble in the last 10 years to make sure there's more drama. We always talk about they take away more freedom. It became more of like a zoo environment where you're like in prison. And so because they want to make sure that you're kind of losing your marbles. But I would argue that some of the craziest moments where people really did lose their marbles happened before all these restrictions. And that now, I know people say the show is more dramatic now.
I see.
I don't agree. I think it's louder and people yell more and perhaps are more violent. But I would, the crazy stuff was happening already. Because, for example, when they bullied, was it Kayla, and they threw all her crap over the balcony?
Yes.
I think that was Kayla. No, I forget. No. It was one of the British girls. They were.
Oh, right. Oh, I can't remember her name, but yes, I remember.
Okay. But I mean, people like Beth was throwing luggage in pools. 20 years ago.
Right. Yeah.
And remember that girl, Jo, on Gauntlet 2 that we always talk about that ended up calling the police in Tobago and saying she was being held against her will? That wouldn't even happen now because there's no phone to call the police.
Oh, my God. You're right. You couldn't even escape if you wanted to. And how about the fight with CT and Adam?
Right.
That is, that's the most insane one ever, and that was a long time ago.
I think people
now
just
they have
yell
security
more.
guards, so yes, I think it's louder. I think you're totally right. And also the expectations of the people who are on there, when in the past, like when Jo was on there, it was like, what the hell this is insane.
Yes, she seemed like a crazy person.
Right. And now and she even sees that environment and goes, holy crap, this is crazy.
Yeah.
And now we've all just accepted that this is how it is because we've been told by people from past seasons, everybody acts like this is totally normal.
Yes,
nobody's speaking out about how bizarre this is. And that's why when you have these new people on here, they're like, this isn't for me.
Yeah, it's just all normalized now. So I don't know.
My supervisor at the clinic has this this thing she calls the red flag theory. How if you were, raised in an environment where there was a lot of craziness and a lot of just, trauma or whatever, just bad stuff, that your like red flag. The red flags that maybe go off for other people when they're in environments of like, holy shit, this is unacceptable behavior, won't go off for you because it's like normal for you. And I think that's kind of what's happening for people who have done a lot of these challenges.
Yeah.
Where their red flag, meter or whatever
is skewed.
Is broken.
Yeah.
Like the red flags are there, but nobody's thinking that this is... They're like, oh, I guess this is just fine. And then it makes me worried that, like, are you accepting of this kind of behavior in your regular life?
Yeah.
does this start to become normalized because this is what you get
I argue
attention
that it
for?
doesn't, though, because I had a conversation with you one time where I said, when you've been hanging out with the cast on your own time, has anyone ever hit another cast member or anyone else?
No.
Never.
No. Never.
I think they are very aware that when they're on a show, that it's a show. Even if the emotions are real, they do not hit each other when there is no reward. So
That's such a good point. People are more controlled.
Yeah. They might not even be conscious of their choice to not.
I think it's that temper tantrum thing again, where the things that you normally, like when you're just overwhelmed, the things that normally you would know how to control, you can't.
I have a question from Jackie.
Yes.
On The Bachelor, each contestant is assigned a producer. Is this the same on The Challenge? It is not.
I don't know if we're assigned. We're not, but I will say that there are producers who choose to, like, cast members are assigned to specific producers sometimes for the interviews.
Yeah, sometimes.
And sometimes there are cast members who producers don't really like and don't want to talk to or don't have that much of a connection with. They think the interviews are better when they're with somebody else. You know, sometimes it's like maybe a gender thing, or, you know, it's very obvious that there are certain producers who can elicit more from
certain cast members.
Yes.
The Bachelor is different too, though, because there is a lot of time they are not being filmed because they travel. And so, and let's say I'm going on a one-on-one date with The Bachelor, and that means you have the day off. So the other contestant, Sarah, has the day off. Well, somebody has to babysit her, essentially.
So weird.
So sometimes they might say you have to stay in your hotel room today. Other times they'll take the person out. They'll go shopping. They'll go to lunch.
What?
Yeah, they go to the movies.
Dude, that's fun.
Because there's way more days like that. I mean,
yeah,
you can't keep people in hotel rooms for, weeks.
And that's kind of like our Saturdays when we have the day off. Yeah. And there's always a producer that gets assigned to be like our chaperone, babysitter, whatever, with like the C team of the
crew,
audio video guys too.
So it's different.
Those days were always, I hated those going out days.
Why?
Because everybody's like, it's like kids who get dropped off at a theme park and their parents are waiting out right outside the gates for them, and like they're just like going nuts. Everybody's like, because you're not allowed to get away with anything, everybody's trying to get away with stuff on those days off.
Oh my God,
that's where somebody's trying to buy pot, somebody's like drinking too much and buying alcohol and sneaking it in. That's when, oh my God, all this shit happened. I don't know where they were. I think it was in Uruguay. I was not on this challenge, but Tony stole a bottle of liquor and they were going to press charges.
Oh, my God.
Like, they had to intervene, and, like, they had to – I don't remember how it ended, but he had to pay a bunch of money. They were going to, like, arrest him.
Oh, my God. They probably just bribed the –
They probably did.
Randy wants to know,
like,
does the
so
house
dumb.
get cleaned, and what happens when you run out of your own toiletries?
Oh, gosh.
Sarah cleaned our house.
Yes, I did. I swear that when I stopped doing challenges, they started hiring cleaning people.
Do they have cleaning people now?
Now they do. Now they have, when we leave to go to the challenges, somebody cleans the house while we're gone. So I loved coming back from challenges because the house would be clean. It was great.
Was it several times a week they would do that?
Yeah, twice.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, but I would absolutely be the cleaner of the house.
Because
in fact, I've written many passive aggressive, and some not so passive aggressive, just plain aggressive notes to people about doing dishes. And like when we were on the Cutthroat Challenge, nobody was doing their goddamn dishes. So and then they like weren't doing them right. So I put up a list of how to properly wash a dish.
I mean, I get your point, but I don't think they should. I don't think it should be their job. Like, we're on a set. On what set does the actor or the whoever have to wash their own damn dishes?
That's totally true.
You're at work. Give me a break.
Yeah.
It's a weird
I hated
job,
that.
but
It is weird. Ugh, but I definitely I would just, because I can't, and this is how I am in my own house. Like, I can't relax and enjoy my coffee and all that in the morning. And I'm always the first one up in those houses. So I'd wake up, I'd go around with a trash can, throw away all the beer cans and all that everywhere, make myself a nice little area that's nice and clean, and then sit down with my coffee and do a little meditation and yoga and blah, blah, blah. And yeah.
One time
those hours of peace in the morning were just the best.
One time I woke up on the Gauntlet too. Like you, I'm always up first. Me and Cyrus were always up first. And Cyrus and I. And I came down and they had like a friggin' kegger. And there was ketchup and mustard everywhere the eye can see.
Oh my God. That's so annoying.
They created a slip and slide with ketchup and mustard on the dining room table.
No.
And the dining room table was like one of those ones in like medieval times that can seat like 20 people, you know?
Yep.
And
so annoying.
I couldn't believe my eyes. I think they showed it on the shit they should have shown, or an after show or something.
Yeah, I'm going to have to look in the archives for a picture of that.
It was foul. It was so gross.
Like, what? And then is it just everybody's drunk and an idiot?
Yeah. And they're so young and they think this is the best thing ever and whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tyler took a big piece of tiramisu cake and threw it all over the walls.
Why?
And then just left it. That was in the same house as that my do the dishes note. Because it was just insane how, like, I'm like, you're going to have a tiramisu fight and then leave it for somebody else to clean up? Fuck off.
No, that's not cool.
And also, waste of a delicious dessert.
Let's see if there's one more that we can answer. Oh, do you sit...
I love all these questions.
I know. There's so many. Do you sit together on the plane to the challenge? And is it coach, middle, or first? What do you think, Sheila?
Coach all the way.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Except the one time.
What? You got upgraded?
Where... Yes, I did.
What happened?
But this is the best story. So we were on, what season? I think it was X's. Yes, it was X's because Landon and I were about to get, I knew I was about to get proposed to. And so I was with Landon. And we were flying to wherever the heck we were flying. And Jenna and Zach were on that season. And this is when Jenna, like, really wanted Zach back or whatever, but they, like, weren't a thing. And so we're boarding the plane, and, I'm like the first one from our group, and then everybody else is sitting behind me. And the flight attendant comes up to us, our group, and everybody's busy talking and flirting and doing all that stuff, and I'm the only one paying attention. So he's like, is there a Jenna over here? I have an upgrade. And I was like, I'm Jenna.
No.
And I got right up, and they moved me to first class, and I sat by myself in first class, and everybody assumed that Landon had upgraded me.
Why was Jenna getting one, though?
I don't know. I think who knows? I think there was something that happened with, like, confusion over, I don't know, like some seat problem and something about, like, maybe there being, like, a mom with a kid who needed to switch or something like that. And she just was the random ticket that got chosen for this. And like it wasn't like, she had enough points and it was upgraded like that. There was some sort of, like, seat confusion.
That's awesome.
And I totally volunteered myself
Jenna know
as
this?
Jenna. I don't think so, but I don't even think she would care because she was with Zach the whole time trying to, like,
Right. You really lucked out
put the
on
work
that
in.
Because
I know. And I got free booze the whole time, and then I would, like, look back. I remember, like, walking back there, like, with my drink, like...
Oh, my God. You're an asshole sometimes.
You know what? Let me have this one. For all the challenge stuff I got screwed out of, I'm going to go ahead and just enjoy that memory of the first class seat. Ugh. And then I tried to get upgraded every time since then. It never worked.
Nicole wants to know, how was Brain Candy able to have weekly episodes while Sarah was away for Rivals 3? Were they recorded ahead of time? They certainly were.
That's right. Yes, they were. We planned ahead. Man, did we plan every single one? We recorded a ton, and so it was able to keep going the whole time I was gone.
Well, we only did one episode a week at that time.
Oh, that's right.
So that helped.
Yeah.
But you were gone a long time.
Yeah, like 6 weeks plus.
Yeah. We were so ambitious.
And Susie just kept it all up, and you did a great job.
I mean, people knew, because I was running your social, too, and people would be like, this is Susie, isn't it? That's so dumb.
That was great. And my favorite was calling you, during that.
Oh, my God. Oh, my
show.
God.
And
I forgot that you called me during.
Yeah, I got to talk to you. Like, I think there were many weeks where I called you rather than my husband.
Oh, my God. And I was like,
I
I know you guys are listening. I hate you.
Yep.
Ellie, this will be the last one. Ellie wants to know, what do you think are the most orchestrated or misrepresented moments on the show, whether a cast member was encouraged to start something, a challenge was rigged, or an incident was portrayed as something on TV but was completely different? What is your... I don't really know. Let me think.
Gosh, let me think. I mean, the one that was the most orchestrated... I mean, nothing really comes to my mind.
People ask me all the time if the show is scripted. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. Right. And I'm like, no, because you couldn't even do that if you wanted to. Like, people are insane enough to where...
We're not that talented.
If you scripted this... Yeah, and I can't act for shit, so...
That's true.
Like, the worst. I can't read a cue card. I'm terrible at that. So, all of this is totally real. And I think as far as being... pushed into something. Sometimes I think some of the catty fights with the girls get a little
overblown.
I think because I think the production knows that the likelihood of women getting in a physical altercation are lower, so it's more going to be like the high drama stuff, like suitcases getting thrown into pools.
Yeah.
And so I think maybe they push that stuff a little more. And I don't mean like they push them, but in the interviews, they're asking them kind of what's the word? Something questions, like we're leading questions. Mm-hmm, yeah. Mm-hmm. So I think maybe, but that's just, I can't think of anything really.
The thing overall that I think is a misrepresentation is the way that the people like Johnny are the mascots and the face of the show.
Totally. Good call, Suze.
I mean, it's something that's so small in each episode, but over the course of 30-some seasons is so clear that even when a woman is exceptional, she is portrayed as unhinged. Like, Cara Maria is often depicted in a way that's like she's over the top competitive, whereas that's expected for guys. That's the thing that stands out for me, especially with Johnny, because he has become like the mascot, and I think they give him a good edit a lot, and they make him funnier than he really is. Like, for sure, where he pops up in the background.
And they make it sound like these jokes are all like new.
Yes.
He's been using the same ones for 10 years, 12 years, 18 seasons, or however many he's done.
Right. There's a lot that I feel is done to soften his really crappy behavior. But I'm biased. I get that. He's not my favorite person, but I also give him credit when he deserves it. I'm not saying he doesn't do anything that's exceptional on the show. But anyway, that's what stands out to me.
Interesting. Yeah, I think that's a really good, observation.
And also with people of color, like, they get the raw end of the deal.
Oh, my God. Absolutely. I did a paper on that in my undergrad, I think a sociology class or something. And I interviewed, like, Cyrus and a few other, just, a range of people, from different backgrounds and all that. And they all said the same thing. They all said that they felt like they got stereotyped, and they felt like the full range of them as a human being wasn't shown, and it was very much like, we want you to be this. Nehemiah said that. Derek from Cancun, who is gay and Latino, and he felt like that too.
I noticed it more than ever on Final Reckoning. If you think about it, and I noticed this with like the Challenge Mania awards that we did, where like they did an award for best commentary, and you know it's Marie, Jemmy, Cam, Shane, these people that are either black, a female, gay. They're providing the color, and the hilarity and the wit, and then the guys like Tony. It's like best competitor.
They get to be the heroes, and we're just the supporting cast.
That is the bummer of it all, but I do love their commentary, and I love that part of the show more than I love the competition. But whatever. Anyway, that's our part 2. Final thoughts.
Good. I love those questions. Thank you guys so much for submitting all those.
Yeah.
All of them, they were really interesting, and some that we've never been asked before. I really loved that religion question.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah, and I'm glad we got to share some of these inside stories with you guys, so you know the real stuff.
It's funny because when I think about the religion thing, just to touch on that again, that's such a big part of the Real World and Road Rules stories. You know, so-and-so's religion. Will they have sex? Or, you know, the downward spiral was my thing. And then once you go on the challenge, you're like, yeah, who cares? You're religious. We don't give a shit. We're going to take your Bible.
Yeah, that's not important for this show now. So doesn't contribute to the storyline.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sarah.
All right,
Always
guys.
a pleasure. People, don't forget to subscribe. Leave us a 5-star review. We love reading those, and it means the world to us. Thank you so much, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.
This podcast is brought to you by Wave Podcast Network. Check out all of our shows, including the Brain Candy Podcast, I Don't Get It, Babes and Babies, Coffee Convos, and Let's Talk About It.